Governor Tony Evers pledged $60 million in funding toward providing internet connectivity to more homes and businesses around the state. The governor is partnering with the Public Services Commission of Wisconsin, and the funds are being provided by the State Broadband Expansion Grant, whose main goal is to provide stronger internet connectivity in underserved communities. Evers says he is working to ensure high-speed internet is available to every Wisconsinite, regardless of their zip code. A PSC chairperson says the grant helps to minimize the digital divide in our state by closing gaps in internet deserts and reaching locations not otherwise served by federal broadband services.